Rick in Detroit. How you doing? This is going to be a follow up on our core workouts. So I'll say at the onset, if you didn't do the core workouts, you're gonna have you. This is not where you want to be. So this is kind of a culmination of, or I almost said final chapter, but there is no final chapter in music. So every chord I'm going to do in this video, I've already done in the workouts. There's a minor chord. So if you've done your workouts, you can play this chord in any key. So you've done your workouts. Now, I've said this in the other videos. I think there are 3 or 4 of them. So we did a workout on major chords. We did a workout on minor chords. We did a workout on dominant chords, minor 7 flat 5, diminished diminished chords. So we've taken the time to not only learn these chords, um, but a workout means you've done enough repetitions that it's in your muscle memory. You don't really have to think about it too much. It's like now you've got it like a kid saying their ABCs. Now, do you have to have it perfectly to move on? No, but you're going to uncover places that you got to go back, or some key that you got to go back and clean up. And you know what? That's a good thing. That's what the practice room is for. The more you do these workouts in the practice room, the more when you're on stage or at church or whatever, you just don't even have to do too much thinking. Now we did the chord workout. We're going to do chord progression workout, and that sets us up for songs. Now, it kind of looks like, you saw the title, kind of looks like we're going to play a song, Autumn Leaves. But Autumn Leaves follows a progression that is so common that it's almost like a requisite thing to learn in all keys. So, without too much further ado, I gave you a little taste of it in the intro. Um, Autumn Leaves, whatever key you're in, starts with, let's take the key of C. Starts with the 2 chord, 5 to 1, then it goes to the 4 chord, then it goes to a 2-5-1 to minor, which some people call 7-3-6. I call it a 2-5-1 to minor. In the key of C, there's a minor 2, here's the 5, 1. I shouldn't have to explain this too much, because if this is not registering, then another video is right there ready for you to click on it. If you don't know what this chord is, that's a E7 sharp 5 sharp 9. Here's an A minor 9. Now, I'm going to encourage you, even if you clicked on the videos before, click on it again and again and again and again, because in those videos I told you some tricks how to find those chords in any key, anywhere you want it. So think of this video as more like application. So we're just going to steal the chord progressions from Autumn Leaves. Remember, 2, 5, 1 major to 4, then 2-5-1 minor. Look at the benefits you get out. You learn all your 2-5-1 majors, you learn 1 to 4, and you learn all 12 of your 2-5-1 minors. I mean, that's a whole year in college. If you and why did I pick this particular song? Because 2-5-1s, major and minors, are 90% of jazz. It's 60-70% of gospel. It's you're putting your practice time into places where you're going to see these song after song after song after song after song. All right. So here's the workout. Here's the exercise. So let's just do it in C. D minor 9. All you gotta do is drop your thumb. You're gonna get a G13. Move your bass note, by the way. Here's your C major 9. Now we need the closest 4 chord, which is this. Remember, this is A minor over F. Now we need a 2-5-1 to minor. Now we're on the 6th chord. Now when we get here, so let me do that again and see. So here's your voicing. I know some of you skipped the workout, so you just want to get right to this part. Okay. I'm just the teacher, not the police. Now, you can tell if you've done your workouts is that this is getting boring to you. So you took it to this inversion, that inversion, this inversion, that inversion. If you start, or you start adding little flavors to it. So let's take the 2 chord. Oops. Maybe you took it. Maybe you took it here. In other words, you took everything up chromatically or down chromatically. That's part of the workouts. And you can do that without too much thought. You do stuff like that. You go up, you go down, you go up a while, come back down a while. So that tells me you know your minors. Here's your G13 chord. Maybe you got to the 1 chord. Maybe you took that down. Workout. Now so let's get back to Autumn Leaves. 2 chord. Drop the thumb to the 5 chord. That's the G13. And then that lands you right on C. Major 9. Go to your 4 chord. Now you notice how you see how I did that? You see that? That's just arpeggio or some piece of that chord that I'm bouncing to get to the next chord. So here's a 2. See how I did that? Just came down the chord. Just bouncing around in the chord. But that's the chord you want to end up on. So I'm just filling little spaces. Now I need a 2-5-1 to minor. Beautiful chord. Okay, so the workout is we need to get that in 12 keys. So it's nice to play that in C, but now I want that Autumn Leaves progression exactly in 12 keys. So here's how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to take this A minor, since it's getting kind of low, I'm going to take it up here, and then I'm going to drop it 2 times, right? 2 times. Aha, that puts me in the key of F. The key change. So I went A minor, A flat minor, G minor, and G minor happens to be the 2 chord in the key of F. Follow me along, drop the thumb, that gives me a C13, and haha, 2-5-1 to F. Now I gotta get to F's 4 chord. Now I need a 2-5-1 to the 6th chord in F. Now, if you like thinking 736, that's fine too. I think 251, so I need in what is the sixth chord in F? What's D? See, this is not only a finger exercise, this is also a head exercise. So I'm going to play E minor 7 flat 5 to A7 sharp 5 sharp 9, and that winds me up on D minor 9. Take notice though how valuable this exercise is, because this D minor is the sixth chord in F, but it's the same thing that was a 2 chord in C. Exact same voicing, same everything. Now the trick to getting from key to key is this little minor drop. So let's go back to the key of C. So one key down, 11 to go. Now, only reason I took it up is because it's getting low down. So I took it up here, took everything up here, drop minor, minor, minor 2 times. That put me in the key of F, and F happens to be the next key on the circle of fourths. Need the 4 chord of F. Now I need a 2, 5, 1, 2, F's 6 chord. Secondary dominant will take us to D minor. Now, what's the next key? So I'm going to drop this minor again. So now I'm in the key of B flat. Tracking me? What's the 4 chord in B flat? Well, E flat is. E flat, I need an A minor 7 flat 5 to a D7 sharp 5 sharp 9. See how I set you up with all those workouts? You should know every last one of these chords. Now I'm getting low again, so I'm going to take it up here. Drop, drop, drop. Now I'm in the key of E flat. There's the 5 chord. What's the 4 chord? Now I need a 2, 5, 1 to C minor, which is the 6th in E flat. There's the G7 sharp 5 sharp 9. Aha, 6 chord. Yeah, let's take it up. Now what we want to do is we want to drop, drop, drop. Now I'm in the key of A flat. See, I'm just following the circle. Four chord, and A flat is D flat. Now I need a G minor 7 flat 5. C7 sharp 5 sharp 9. That takes me to F minor. I did a little F minor workout there. That should be familiar if you did your workouts. Drop, drop, drop. Now I'm in the key of D flat. Here's the 5 chord. To its 4 chord. Now I need a 2, 5, 1 in the key of D flat, or minor 2, 5, 1. Now I arrive on B flat minor. Pick it up. Now I'm in the key of G flat. I'm holding these so some of you might these down or pause the video. So I need that A flat minor is the 2 chord in the key of G flat. Here's the 5 chord. Watch my bass note. That'll tell you what chord I'm playing. Right? Where's the 4 chord? Now I'm heading for E flat minor. That's the 6th chord, so I need a 2 of that. So I need F minor 7 flat 5. Put B flat, sharp 5, sharp 9. So drop, drop, drop. You get the workout, but and I mean, if you can get through all 12 keys, you good. You're really good. You're really good. Let's see. Where am I? Yeah, lost my place. I'm on a 2 chord. So here's the 5 chord. Oh, I'm in the key of B. Where's the 4 chord? For those of you like 7-3-6s, let's. Gonna find these chords are repeating. They're just in different stations in different keys. So now I feel like I'm getting a little low. Go up here. Now I'm in the key of E. There's the 2 chord. Here's E major 9. Here's its 4 chord. Now I'm heading for D flat minor 9. Now I probably can go down here and be alright. Let's try it. Okay, so now I'm in the key of A. Getting a little low, but I can handle it. So there's that 2-5-1 to A. So we need the A, we need the 4 chord of A, which is D. Getting a little low down here. Let's play it up here. So that took care of the key of A. So drop, drop, drop. Now I'm in the key of D. Here's the 2 chord, E minor 9 is the 2 chord of D. 5, 1, 4. Drop, drop, drop. I'm in the key of G. Let's take it up. Use your ear to decide when you're going to take it up or stay where you are, because it does get a little muddy down there. Now, I'm going to tell you another trick when it gets muddy in a minute. So, I'm on an A minor 9, which is the 2 chord in the key of G. I need a 5 chord, drop the thumb, to G. 4 chord of G is C. Now I need to get to E minor, that's the 6 of G. So here is It's 2 chord, or if you want to call it the 7 chord, works for me. We only have a few more keys to go. Oh, now we're back to where we started from. Okay, so the workout is 2, 5, 1, 4, then 7, 3, 6, or 2, 5, 1 in minor, all keys. That's the workout. So when you approach this pays so much dividends, so many dividends. I know it's a bit much to tackle, but if it's hard for you to tackle this, something you need to go do the workouts more in the individual chords. Now I'll bring it to this video. Once you tackle this, you're gonna find like, okay, I was fine in the key of C, but when I got to A, oh boy, I had to head scratching and all that kind of stuff. That's okay. That's okay. Keep at it until you can pick a key. Pick a key. Pick I don't know. Pick A flat. So now you know the 2 chord is A. Now you want to just pick a key at random. But when you first start, go around a circle and do that. So whenever you get to a minor chord, maybe your C minor, or here, that's the 6 of E flat. So what's the next key on the circle? E flat is A flat. So you want to drop 2 times. That's going to put you on the 2 chord of the next key. So make sure you know your minor chords fairly well, so you can drop from any. In other words, you got your minors figured out. You go up. So if you didn't do any workout, make sure you can do your minor chord workouts. Now, what's the benefit of these workouts? First of all, they can get a little bit cumbersome. It's heavy lifting, and most people do skip them. And so they run the songs and they get proficient at that song, or they get proficient at this other song or this other song. This is getting you musically proficient. So it takes a little bit extra time, but there's some tremendous payday involved in this. Now, I mentioned that I was going to give you another way to roll if it's getting too low. So remember, let me just do a couple of them and see where I was. We got a 7, 3, 6. Nothing wrong with any of that. So let's drop. Getting a little low, so last time I just took it up. The other way to do it is just invert. Now in the workouts, I did show you 2 inversions that's used most often. So here we are on this G minor 9. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this F and this A and move it up here. So I just, instead of moving here, I just moved here. Now that means this 3rd finger's got to move instead of not moving last time. You see, that's the other way to roll. And after a while, you'll figure out what keys you want to put in what inversion. But for now, learn both of them. I mean, if it gets a little muddy, that's okay. So that's, to my ear, getting a little muddy. So we'll just put it up here. Put it in B voicing. So let me find another way to say that. Here's a 2-5-1. And so we are thinking of this as F major in second inversion over D. But we could think of that as F major in root position over D. Now to me that's kind of muddy. So I'll take it up here. Know both ways to do it, in other words. Now if you're doing it this way, you're going to drop the thumb. If you're doing it this way, you're going to drop this. Either way, you're going to drop this C or the third finger. Got it? So one way or the other way. Now, this way is going to go to this C. Definitely muddy. So figure out which key you want to put in what inversion. But when you're first learning this workout, don't worry about muddy too much. Get this voicing right here. Get that voicing. And if it gets muddy, just take it up an octave. It's a lot to take in to try to take in two voicings at the same time. When you get that, come back and get the other voicing. But first of all, get this voicing. So this can be inverted, this can be inverted, and this can be inverted to here. Matter of fact, that can be inverted too. That can be inverted to here. That can be inverted. All you gotta do is find the bottom two notes, that A flat and that C, and they can be inverted right to here. You're probably going to go to a different A minor from here. You probably can go here. So learn one voicing all the way through the keys, and then start picking up the second voicing, probably 3 months later or 6 months later. Now, I can tell you this took me a long time to get this in all keys. You're going to fumble, you're going to stumble. I'm just trying to encourage you, don't give up on this, because the it's a pain in the neck to do, especially you're going to get to a key and your smoke's going to come out of your ears. I'm not trying to discourage you, but I'm trying to encourage you to press through that. Now finally, when you start getting a little cocky about this, then you need to play this in some time. So I'm going to put some kind of rhythm on. I have no idea what's going on. So I'm not going to go through all 12 keys, but I'm going to give you a taste of what you're aiming for. So here's the 2 chord in C. Then you gotta go to that drop part like this. whatever you got, metronome, doesn't matter. Then you can get this in some time. What do I have this on? I got it on 70 beats a minute. And you can go through the entire exercise, the entire workout, without error, around 60, 70, 80, 90 beats a minute. You good, hey, you good. You locked and loaded. Okay, what does this set you up for? A song you're learning. I don't know, any old song. It doesn't. We just throwed Autumn Leaves because it has the progressions in it that we want. But your music director hands you a song and you say, uh, I in my pocket I already got. If there's a 251 in there in any key, I got it. I got some way to play it. If there's a 251 minor, if there's a 1 to 4, some songs are very simple. Some songs just go from 1 to 4. So 1 to 4. I said, well, I've already done that practice. I can learn that song in 5 minutes. The other thing is your ear. Your ear starts. If you do this workout, I guarantee you, your ear knows what a 251 sounds like. Because a 251 sounds like a 251. Doesn't matter what key I play it in. Now you're riding in your car, hear the radio, and wow, how nice, 251. Let's say I'm going from the 1 chord and I'm going to the 4 chord. But a lot of songs will go from the 1 chord and then they'll go from a 2. And they end up on the 4 chord. You say, oh, how nice, I know 251's major, I don't care what key it's in. Same with 251 minors. They sound like 251 minors. They don't sound like 251 majors. They just. So that's another benefit. While you're doing the workout, your ear is picking up the sound of a 251 major, a 251 minor, and a 1 to 4 progression. Okay, enough rambling there. Have fun practicing this workout. Let me know how you're doing. I know this is going to take a minute. If you're struggling, that probably means I didn't set you up well enough in my individual chord workouts. Make sure you do those first. If you haven't stopped this video, go back and find major chord workout, minor chord workout, dominant chord workouts, etc. That sets you up for this workout. And then that'll set you up for songs. Mike in Detroit, hopefully this was helpful to you, and we'll talk to everybody soon. Questions down below, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Happy practicing.